And as we start to explore the notion of spiritual fitness, the key question is, why be spiritually fit? Well, again, to quote Bill from the Big Book, he talks about the alcoholic at certain times has no effective mental defense against the first drink or drug, except in a few rare cases, neither he nor any other human being can provide such a defense. His defense must come from a higher power. Like some people have the notion that, well, once you've been really sober for a while, it's almost like you're inoculated against the problem. Well, if you hang out at AA long enough, you will see people with 15, 20, 30 years go out again. It isn't a frequent occurrence, but it happens. Why does it happen? It happens because I know somebody I've known for many, many years. Met her when she first got sober more than 30 years ago. And she had about 27 years. And she went out again. And when she got to talking about it, it was very powerful to listen to her because she said, well, I realized I've been around a long time now. So did I really need to pick up all those newcomers and take them to meetings anymore? And well, I was doing pretty good. Did I really need to go to all those meetings every week? And well, my sponsor, we've been sober a long time, so I don't need to talk to her all that much. So it's all those sorts of things which keep the spiritual experience happening, which promote spiritual fitness, she wasn't doing. And then suddenly she was in a situation, and in the moment, boom, a bad decision was made. And she's back on the path, been on there a while now. That's great. But nobody is immune. Nobody's bulletproof on this topic. You need to be really, really clear about that. People in 12-step recovery come to understand that alcoholism and addiction are spiritual maladies that require a spiritual solution. If we're to be granted a daily reprieve based on our spiritual condition, then we need to get spiritually fit. Now, some years after writing the Big Book, Bill penned the 12 and 12, where he uses the term AA beam as a way to describe spiritual fitness. In discussing the 9th step, he says, first we'll wish to be reasonably certain that we are on the AA beam. And I sort of got this picture of the 1950s Martian movies with the beam coming out, of the robot's head. But we had to get on the AA beam, And then a little later on, he's discussing the 12th step. He says, without necessarily taking the first drink, we often realize we get quite far off the beam. So he's talking about the notion that it's not a permanent state of affairs. If you think about physical fitness, I can get really physically fit, all right? But if I take a month off, start to put on a little weight, get a little soft. Okay, at my age, it happens faster, too. But anyway, so you start to get this sense of this. And where am I here? He says, but he describes this place of spiritual fitness. He says, we're not fighting it. We're not fighting alcohol. Neither are we avoiding temptation. We feel as though we've been placed in this position of neutrality, safe and protected. We have not even sworn off. Instead, the problem's been removed. It doesn't exist for us. We are neither cocky nor we are afraid. In other words, if I am spiritually fit, he talks about we can go any place on the face of the earth and be just fine. This whole notion, I can't ever walk in a bar again. I can't be at a party where they're serving alcohol. I can do those things if I'm spiritually fit. But this is my indicators, okay? If I had a stressing week, I show up at a party and I start counting people's drinks, it's time for me to get the hell out of the house, okay? Because I'm not spiritually fit now, all right? I know that. But you see, the more you pay attention to this notion of spiritual fitness, you can be in any, it just doesn't bother you. It doesn't concern you at all.